we're going to add something to it. So hopefully it'll discourage y'all. Let's go ahead and do, let's see, we did 12 and we did 9. So let's do, I got to do at least, let's do 13 because there's a reason I'm doing 13. Because I got to do a 5-number summary. So let's go with 18, 18, 19, 20, 20, 20, 20, 21, 25, 28, and 30. That's 11, 32, and 32. Okay, so I'll make them bigger. So the person that's going to fuss about can't see them. Okay, I can't see. All right, there you go. I want you to do everything we did the other day. I'll write them over here. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. I'm going to add some to that after we draw the curve and put in the empirical rule. We're going to add some to that called the 5-number summary. Now I'd like for you to do it by hand in your notes, so you can add notes to the side on what we do, especially with the 5-number summary. And then, of course, check it with your calculator. And we'll check it, because I think we did the calculator at the end of class last time. So, give y'all about 6 minutes. That'll be 12:45.
Do you want us to keep all the decimals?
I would say take it out at least 3 or more decimals, because the last, when you type it in, that's when you round to the first or the second decimal, depending on the directions. So I always take it to 3 or 4 decimals. That's a good question. That's a test question. Not that I'm copying. Doesn't even need to be here. Yep, online class, don't even watch the videos. Oh, man. Carlin, that's where I do my shopping. Right there on 24. But when I have to go to Walmart, which is never, I do go to Harvard. I will not go to LA Walmart. It's depressing.
You're the one in Hartwell?
Yeah, and it's nice. It's normal people down there. Not a bunch of crazy people. Go to LA. 28 bypass.
Mine's been working then. You worked there?
I worked at Walmart for 3 years during high school. I worked at 396. It was beside the mall then. But they say it's getting as bad as LA. I don't think anybody gets there. I'll never forget, I went to LA Walmart one time and it was about 12 o'clock at night. Oh, hell no, I won't do that again. There was two meth heads fighting out in the parking lot.
Close to
Oh my gosh, have you ever seen two meth heads fighting? It's more like two 4-year-olds fighting. You ever seen the video of those two rabbits fighting like this? That's what it looked like. Okay, I'll shut up. More minutes, so if you're not done, then you pretty much it's over. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut that off. That little Facebook. I'll go ahead and put the mean on here. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to put the mean so you can check your mean. Divided by 13. There's your mean. What are you at? She not here this morning? She probably quit. She's probably in the ditch. Yeah, she probably lose her. Don't come to class. So what's the median? 20. Make sure you highlight that because that means you just picked it out. You didn't calculate anything, you just middle. No sneezing in class. Settle down, Oconee. See, they still hate. What I do to y'all, Oconee? Do y'all just hate me?
We're just shy.
You're shy.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're shy.
Usually the person that's shy talk the ears off a billy goat. Usually. The person that says, I'm shy. Yeah. I got 2 children that says they're shy. Yeah. I only got 3 or 4 words out of Oconee. I shouldn't push it, should I? I should leave them alone. They might self-combust. All right, how you coming? Y'all quit yet? Come on, y'all should at least get the first 5.
I'm just going to put my opinion out there. These problems are so annoying.
Why are they annoying?
They're so long.
Well, I'm teaching you the long ones, so when you do the short ones, you won't be, you'll be all right. I promise you, you'll live.
Because, like, the homework gives you, like, it asks you what the standard deviation is, and it's like, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. But there's, like, all the questions are that, so the homework takes, like, a year to do.
I do not like those questions, okay? I do not like those. Every letter in the alphabet, no. Salt parts A through D. Salt parts A through F. No, I don't like those. I don't put those on tests.
There's a question on the homework that wants you to do standard, like find the standard deviation, and it gives you what, 50?
50. N is 50.
50 numbers that are decimals.
Okay, that one you would do on an Excel spreadsheet. That's what that one's designed for. Because you spend half your time typing them in the calculator.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I'm talking about, and you're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. You'll see. Equals, parentheses, 32 plus 18 divided by 2. So everybody should have those. And those should be pretty much, 7th, 8th grade. Y'all should know those from the 7th or 8th grade. At least a couple of them. Okay? You might not know you did them in the 7th, 8th grade, but you probably learned them in the 7th or 8th grade. All right. Now, let's do the variance. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to take 18, and I'm going to subtract what? 23.308, Hubert. Yes, X bar. X bar is the mean. I'm going to hit F4 for you Excel people. I'm going to hit F4. And in Excel people, you know what that does. It locks it so when you copy it down, it doesn't copy this 20, and then it copies this 20, and this 14, and this 25, and then it'll give you an error. So that's why you lock it. So for those Excel people, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know Excel, then don't ask. There's your answers. So I would make sure in your notes that you at least got the first one, the middle one, and the last one. You don't have to do all of them, but make sure you at least got the first one, the middle one, and the last one so you know where it comes from. X minus X bar. And remember, you read the formula. The formula's in your notes. The formula's in the book. X minus X bar. What do we do after we find X minus X bar? Square it. So you're the one. Okay? Raised to the 2nd power, and then copy that down. Oops. Now remember, the formula says after you square it, that big funky E, what does that E mean?
Sum.
Sum. So you add them up. So the numerator of the variance is 344.77. Hold on a second. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so you can see it. Well, I thought I was.
Every time I drag it down, it gives me like different numbers.
That's because you're not locking it. Go through the top one, and you're talking about B right here? Okay, hit 18, click on 18. If it equals 18 minus, and then click on 23.3 and hit F4. Hit F4 and then enter. And then copy that down. See if that works. Okay, we're gonna get there. All right. Now, the variance is equal to that number divided by, what's n minus 1? What's 13 minus 1? 12. Y'all are on the ball. So there is the variance. And what is the relationship between the standard deviation and the variance?
The square.
The square root, or raise it to the 0.5 power. So that's equal to I can't click on it, M7 raised to the 0.5 power. Okay, it didn't like it. Equals M6, sorry. M6 raised to the 0.5 power. So now we're going to go down here and do our empirical rule. And what goes in the middle? Now let's paint this one. Dang old blue. Okay. Do it again. There. And we're going to put that one right there. Okay, and what are we going to do on the right side? We're going to add the standard deviation. So that's equal to this number plus standard deviation, F4, and then I'm going to go 3 places to the right. Then over here equals 23.308 minus the standard deviation. Oops, I didn't hit F4. I suck. 4, and copy that 3 places to the left. Now the question was asked yesterday, your highest number is 32. Why you got a 39 in there? Well, the numbers are not jiving right now. Say again? I thought somebody said something. Let me hit my whiteboard. The numbers aren't jiving right now, but they will when we get into chapter 7 and 8. So just right now, I'm trying to teach you how to do the normal curve, okay? You add the standard deviations on what side? On the right, Hubert. And what do you do on the left side? You subtract. And that's what I'm trying to get you to learn. I don't care about the numbers right now. Whatever the numbers come out to be, so be it. I'm just trying to get you to learn how to do it. Later on, it will work out. I'm trying to get there we go. So I take my handy dandy marker and $34, 13.5, 13.5, 2.35, and 0.15. 2.35 and 0.15. Okay, now we're going to do what's called the 5-number summary. And then after we do all this, we're going to go to the calculators. All right? So what is the 5-number summary? Well, it's not really that difficult. I'm going to go over here and just, I know it's going to run into another space, but the 5-number summary consists of the mean, the median, max, and And then in the first, this one right here, this is called the first quartile, or the 25th percentile. We'll talk about that in just a minute. The median, well, let me just go ahead and talk about it now. Which way do we all read? From left to right, unless you're from the Middle East, Masalama. If you're from the Middle East, you read from right to left. But most of us that live in the United States of America read from left to right. So I want you to treat the curve as a fuel gauge. Everybody with me? So what's on this side right here? Dang old empty. And what's right in here? And what's right in here? And what's right in here? And, boy, y'all are on the ball. Okay? Now, a quarter is a quartile. And what else does a quarter mean? 25 what? Percentile. So the 25, the 25th percentile and the first quartile is the same what? Number. Just called two different things. Just like some of us. We go by one name, but people call us other names too. Right? Settle down, Oconee. All right. What's the half? That's called the 50 percentile, or the what? The second quartile. 50th percentile, or the second quartile. Now it's very important that you learn these words and that you know that they're the same for each. In other words, the second quartile means the 50th percentile. So what do you think the third quartile is? Third quartile is the 75th percentile. Capisce? Capisce is Italian for do you understand? Yes, Hubert. Thank you, class. So the number here represents that little arrow around this area right here. Number here represents that. So the number, this is, in this case, the normal distribution. You're using the what? The mean. Here, you're going to be using the what? The median. Remember, what is this all about? This section is all about tendencies of what? Not the center, but what? Center. All right? So, you're going to be using different methods. Then what is the third spot right here under the median? That's going to be the third quartile, or the 75th percentile. Everybody with me? Y'all settle down. I appreciate y'all interacting because it makes class go by so much faster when you interact. I'm so glad I don't have any classes that are winged on a pickle. Say again, I couldn't hear you. Mumbled.
Or Q2.
Yes. The median is the 50th percentile, or the second quartile. So the third one is going to be the third quartile, or the 75th percentile. Now, I'm gonna help y'all out. I'm gonna find the mean and the median. I mean the mean and the max. And there's the mean, and there's the max. There, I helped y'all out. Aren't y'all glad I helped y'all? So let's take a handy dandy gray color and highlight that. And let's take a handy dandy, we'll go with rouge. I don't like rouge, but we'll go with the rouge. And right about that. And this is going to be, dang old, let's see if I get this right. Espanol Amarillo? Amillano. Which one is it? Amarillo. I'll say Amarillo, but I know that's not right. Amarillo? Yeah, there you go. Dang old, can't do anything. Dang old, graduated redneck. All right, equals 20. Settle down, Oconee. Y'all talking too much. Y'all ever seen the Darlings on Andy Griffith Show? The ones that
Never
don't
watched
talk. That's
the
Oconee
Andy-
campus. Huh?
Never watched the Andy Griffith Show.
That says a lot about you.
Sorry.
Yeah. It says a lot. You learn a lot from the Andy Griffith Show. Everybody can learn from the Andy Griffith Show. All right. So y'all find the first quartile and third quartile. You know how to find it? Count the number of numbers above your median. How many numbers are above the median? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you take the median of those 6 numbers. Dang old, we'll color that dang old verde. And that's going to be equal to, parentheses, 20 plus 19 divided by what? 2. You're finding the median of the median of the median. That's what you're doing. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll color that. We don't have a blue, so let's color dang old, what's that color right there? Equals, parentheses, this number plus this number divided by 2. And there is your 5-number summary. But it's not going to stop there. Because what can you get from the 5-number summary? What?
Can you explain how you get that?
Oh, get what?
The first quartile, the third quartile.
I just took the median of these 6 numbers. Those 6 numbers right there, you count above, you take the median.
But you just take 2.
What do you do if they're even? How many numbers we got there?
6.
That's even. So what do you do when you find the median of 6 numbers? You average the 2 middle numbers. There you go. And how do I find the median of these 6 numbers? You take the average of the 2 middle numbers. Okay? Now we're going to do what's called a box plot. And you know what? The box plot is real simple. The first thing you do with a box plot is draw a number line. So write that down. First thing you do with a box plot is draw a number line. Whew. That vodka and cranberry juice is messing with that daggum fluoride. Whew. Maybe I need to take it easy on this.
Vodka and cranberry juice is very good.
Yeah. It messes with the fluoride though.
What section is this? Is this 3.3 that we're kind of going over?
Yep. 3.1 and 3.3. I think the box plot is either in 3.4 or 3.5. One of those two. The box plot is. Somebody look in your book and tell me. Go to 3.5. I think it's in 3.5. It's either in 3.5 or 3.6. And and what's covered is the 5-number summary and the box plot. That's what's in 3.5 and 3.6, or one of them. And then the other one is z-scores, which I'm going to get to that, not this week, but next week. What you got there? That's z-scores. What is that? 3 point what? Okay, 3.5 is box plot. 3.5 is what I'm doing right now. And a lot of people say, well, Hubert, you're going all over the place. Well, I'm teaching the course. You'll be all right. Okay? Because what's going to happen is, by the time we get to the test, we're going to be doing all these questions, and you're going to understand how to do them because I've already covered them. The only thing I haven't covered yet is the z-scores. All right. So what do you do first? You draw a number line. And the number line consists of 3 numbers. The mean, the max, and the mid-range. So you need to put that in your notes, because the first thing you do for a box plot is you draw a number line. The number line consists of the mean, the max, and the mid-range. I don't have a gray color. I will. That sucks. So that takes care of that number. Takes care of that number. And I don't need the excess, but that takes care of that number. Now what 3 numbers are left? The quartiles. So I take my handy dandy green marker and I plot that 19 point, well, before I do, I've got to graduate the number line. I forgot to do that. So I'm going to find the mid-range of the mid-range of the mid-range of the mid-range. So how do you find the mid-range? Your lowest plus your highest divided by 2. What's 18 plus 25?
43.
43 or 42 divided by 2 is what? 21. What's 25 plus 32? 57 or 56, which is what? 28? Now I'm not being very exact. Does it matter? No, you're not designing O-rings for the space shuttle here. Okay? You're just trying to graduate the number line so you can plot on it. You can find as many as you want. What's 18 plus 21? 39 or 40? Half of 40 is 20. 21 plus 25, 46, 23. 25 plus 28 is 50 what? 53. Half of 54 is 27. 28 plus 32, that's what? 60. Half of 60 is what? And you can keep going. You can get down to the little minuscule hairline if you want to. But that's good enough for me. Now I take that green marker and I plot 19.5. Then I take that yellow marker, well, the blue marker, and I do 29. And then I plot my yellow marker at 20. Oops. And now you have a box plot. Now what does this box plot tell us? The box plot, see, that's why it's good to do 2 or 3 different things when you're talking about tendencies of the middle. I don't like to say center because it sounds like center. All right? Tendencies of the middle. All right? You use different methods. This one, the box plot, is more accurate because it tells us that we've got a lot of people where? On the low end. Why? Because where is your yellow mark? Your yellow mark is right beside the green mark. So that tells us that our data is skewed right. It's always the opposite. Skewed right means that all of our data is on the what? Left. Skewed left means all your data is on the what? We're going to talk about skewed right and skewed left here in just a minute. Okay? So right now I've covered 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and what did you say this was? 3.5? What did you say? You mumbled. Okay? So Now, why do I teach all those together? Because if you can do what I just did right here, if you can do all of that, you can pretty much do the test, except for z-scores. Okay? And that's why I always teach all this together. Now let's look at the handy-dandy calculator. Now I'm not going to type in, well, we'll type in all those. Let me go, I'll pull this back up. Hold on just a second. Don't spaz out. Pull up the handy-dandy calculator, put it right there. All the things I do for y'all. Oh, I know what I did. Let me move this over. Pull up the Excel. There we go. Now pull in. There we go. Move this over. Come on. Oh, that's great. Damn Russians. All right. So I'm going to take my handy-dandy calculator and I'm going to punch in stat, edit, and most of the time you're going to deal with L1. You're not going to fool with the other ones unless you got more data. 18, 18, 19, 20, 20, 20. Is that 3, 4? 21, 25, 28, 30, 32, and 32. Everybody with me? Now all you do is hit stat, calculate, first variable statistic, enter. It's going to default to L1. All you do is go down and hit calculate. All right, X bar is 23.31. I think that's what we got. SX, 5.36. I think that's what we got. And go down. And look there. Min, 18. Max, 32. 19.5. Look there. 20 and 29. It's a miracle. So it gives you the 5-number summary. And I'll show you a trick I learned in the war. Hit second stat plot. Plot on. Dang old Boxplot. And L1 and graph. Might not show it, and it's not very accurate, but hit zoom, and I think there's a zoom stat. There's your box plot. Now, why is well, you really can't tell where it is, so you have to hit trace. And when you hit trace, it'll tell you the numbers. That's 19.5, that's 20, that's 29, and that should be 32. Yep. So you can do all of that on your calculator and save you a lot of time. All right, who has questions? You had a question about your calculator. What was your question?
Sure.
Oh, I did.
Did you download that calculator off like an app or something?
Wabbit EMU. I told y'all that first day of class. You must have been drunk. Wabbit, W-A, like Elmer Fudd. Of course, some of y'all probably don't know who Elmer Fudd is. Wabbit, W-A-B-B-I-T-E-M-U. No space, no anything. And you can download it on your phone. Question, gripe, complaint. Now let me show you how to do it the easy way with the homework. You remember what question you were talking about, Oconee?
The one with the 50 numbers?
Yeah. Do you remember which question it was?
I can look.
Probably 3.3 or, where's 3.3?
We don't have a 3.3 homework.
Okay, then 3.1 and 3.2. Or 3.4, I can't remember which one. What? I don't see.
It's question 9.
Which section?
3.2.
Number 9. Now, I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. You may not like it, but you see that little icon right there? Dang old copy over to the spreadsheet. You don't have to type in anything. There they are. And now,
Excuse me. How do you get to the spreadsheet?
you just click on that little thing right there and open in Excel. You can open it in StatCrunch. Let's say you have a computer that you got from Radio Shack and you don't have Excel. Then hit open in StatCrunch. And you can open it in StatCrunch, which is the Excel spreadsheet that comes with MyLabs Plus. You can use it. I don't use it very much, so I don't. You can go in it. I think you can go in right here, there. And then you can go up here, and I think you can hit Stat, I think, Summary Stat, Columns, and I think you can do this column, yeah, Variable 1, Where, Field, hold on just a second. Group by, it should let you, there it is. I don't know if it did the whole, let me go back and do that. Hold on, let me see if I can highlight the whole thing.
Wait, it did it for you?
Yeah, it does it for you, but I don't know. I think as long as you, let me try it again. Stat, Summary Stat, Column, and Compute. Must select or select column C. I don't know where select columns is. I'm not familiar with it. I'll try that one. I don't know if it'll do the whole thing or not. Stat, Summary, Columns, and Compute. Okay, I don't know how to do it. I'm not going to fool with it right now, but you play with it. I've done it before, but usually you're supposed to click on it and it does the whole row. But I don't know why it's not doing the whole row, so I just I'll play with it later. Maybe I can get it to work later, but I don't use it. So you hit this one, open in Excel, and it'll put it down here, and of course you open it, click on it, and open it, and there it is.
Okay, now what question is this again?
I don't know what question. It's in 3.2 something. What number? Okay, now you can go over here and hit mean, median, mode, and do all your stuff. So mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and standard deviation. And then you can go up here and hit summary and highlight this whole divide by 50. And that's that number. And now we take this number, x minus this number, F4, copy that down. No, that don't look right. Hold on, equals this number minus this number, F4, enter. I didn't think that was right. Oh, Connie, you still there? We looking at your TV screen.
Yeah.
That's because y'all talking too much. Even the camera gave up. Camera just turned to the TV screen. And add all that up and enter. And that is your, variance equals this number divided by 49. I don't know how long this is taking me to do this, but it ain't very long. Standard deviation is equal to this number raised to the what? 0.5 power. And median is number 26, isn't it? Should be that number right there. Wait a minute. Be 25 and 26 because there we go. You average those two together. The mode, I'm not going to look at the mode because those are decimals. It's going to be hard to find. You just look at it and find it. Range is equal to the highest minus the lowest. Highest plus the lowest divided by 2. So that's a way that you can do it a little bit faster if you use the Excel spreadsheet. If not, you have to rely on your hands or your calculator, depending on which one you want to do. Did you see that, Oconee?
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you interacting with me. I know it's tough to do. Now let's talk about skewed right and skewed left. There's 3 types of distributions. There is skewed right, meaning that all your data is on the what? Left. This is like you ever had a math test or a test in college or high school and everybody flunked? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the interaction. I appreciate that. It's only a yes or no question. All right? Why do people flunk? Why does the whole class? Give me 2 or 3 reasons that the whole class, even the nerd that makes 105 on every test, okay? Even that person flunked. Why would the whole class flunk?
Test questions.
The test is not valid. Test validity. What does that mean? Well, let's say that the teacher said it was a Chapter 6 test, right? And he went and pulled the Chapter 6 test out of the filing cabinet, but he pulled it out of the calculus folder. And you are Math 120. Everybody a flunk. You see what validity of the test. Does the test correspond with the data that you've presented? What else?
Miscalculations.
Teacher sucks. Let's say you get the teacher that we had that year that he decided to bring a red Solo cup into the class at 8 o'clock in the morning. And he would refill it at 9 o'clock. And he would refill it at 10 o'clock. And he would refill it at 11 o'clock. Taught 4 classes. By the time you got that lunchtime class, he was fried. Oh yeah, we've had some real winners. Or, not the teacher sucks, but what? The class could suck. You could have a class that don't ever talk. I mean, never ask questions. Of course, if the class never asks questions, then what does the teacher assume? You know the material. So if the class doesn't ask any questions throughout the whole unit, then the teacher's going to throw them a test, and guess what? They're going to either do well on it or they're going to suck at it. But if you get a combination of all 3 of those, or 1 or 2 of them, you're going to have a skewed right curve. Then what's the opposite of skewed right? Skewed left. All the data is on the right. Skewed left. And this would be, I give you the answers to all the tests, or all the questions on the test. Or I'm just a fabulous teacher. Or you are a fabulous what?
Student.
Class. No, it'd be the class because everybody made an A. Or you could have a normal distribution. Those are the three types of distribution. But make sure you know all three of them, because that's a good standardized test question. They'll just have a skewed right or a skewed left, and they'll say, what does this mean? Skewed left, skewed right, or normal? And remember, it's always the opposite. Skewed right is always data's on the left. Skewed left is data's on the right. Question on that one? Normal. Yep, just normal. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Question on this?
So the bell shape you say is normal, right?
The what? The bell shape. That's normal. Normal distribution. Skewed right, skewed left. I mean, skewed right, skewed left. So now I want to go over Z-scores. Now, of course, next week we'll go over all the homework questions and anything that y'all want to go over after y'all find them in the homework, okay? Because I want to make sure everybody can do the homework right now. Let's go and find LBJ versus Shaq Z-scores. PDF. There's one. This was a question that was in the book we used several years ago. And of course, if you have a good book, federal and state government, what do you do if you have something that works really well? You get rid of it. Yeah. So we got rid of it, and I'm going to snip this out. Moist. That's my moist. I don't like that word. There we go. Save. Capture. Go to the whiteboard. And I want you to put this question in your notes because it's a good question and it tells you why we have Z-scores. You don't have to write it word for word. Just write down the gist of it. Basically, you're comparing presidents and basketball players. LBJ was at that time, or in the past, has been the tallest president. Modern times, because the tallest president was who? Real easy to remember. Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, he was a sorry bastard. They hated him. I'm glad he was president, but they hated him at the time. Did y'all know that?
Really?
Oh, yeah. You know who they treated him like? They treated him like a certain president's being treated right now. They didn't want him, but they ended up shooting him.
I thought the shooting was just like random.
No. You are kidding me. That's a conspiracy in itself. Yes. People say he was paid. People say he was, oh yeah, they hated Abraham Lincoln. They meaning the establishment, people that wanted to run things, like today. Grassy knoll, yeah. You tell me that, I'm not even going to get into the grassy knoll. There's no way that boy shot that president. I mean, no way. With a height of 75 inches, LBJ was the tallest president of the past century. With a height of 85 inches, Shaq was the tallest basketball player, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Who is relatively taller? Well, any hick with no teeth in their head can tell you that Shaq is taller. All right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that Shaq is one of the tallest basketball players ever. Okay? Top 10 probably. But what does relatively mean? Compared to the populations. What is the requirements for being president of the United States?
32 years old.
You got to be 30-something years old, 36 or 34, what is it?
At least like 12 years in office. Something.
Now, you have to be a natural-born citizen, and you have to be at least 36 years old, I think. Somebody check it for me. And, of course, you got to not have a felony rap sheet and all that stuff. I mean, you got to be in great standing and all that. But what about the requirements? Oconee, y'all can jump in here if you want to and answer some of these questions.
35.
35.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, it says it's 30.
We said that the tallest president was what? Abraham Lincoln. Who was the shortest president? Google it. No, Jimmy Carter was the worst president. He was. He was one of the worst presidents.
James Madison.
What? How tall was James Madison?
5'4".
5'4". Dadgum. 5'4" is like right here. 5'4". So being tall is not a prerequisite for being president. Is it a prerequisite for being a basketball player? No. Spud Webb was 5'5", and he could dunk.
Isn't Isaiah Thomas is short too, isn't
He's like 6'2",
Yeah.
which is short.
he? Even Steph is short.
Yep.
Steph isn't that tall.
The whole point is you don't have to be a tall player, but if you're in 6th grade and you're 7'2", guess who's going to be coming to you at gym practice? Guess who's going to be coming to you asking you if you play basketball? The coach. Why? Because tall is an advantage. Now, if you can't run, you suck. Okay? But you got to be able to run up and down the court. All right? But to be a basketball player, it does help to be tall. So who's the big fish in the little pond and who's the little fish in the big pond? Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ, is the big fish in the little pond. And I know this is hard to think, but Shaq is the little fish in what? Big pond, because everybody's what? Tall. So relatively is when you're comparing two populations, apples and oranges. And you're seeing which one is the most ER. The wider, fatter, skinnier, taller, worse test average, whatever you're trying to find, you put it on a Z-score. What is the formula for the Z-score? Formula for Z-score is Z equal to X minus X bar over standard deviation. And you're going to plot it on your normal curve. Remember me telling you that from here on out, you're going to be drawing this thing like every day? Well, you will. Now, since I'm comparing apples to oranges, I'm going to put them on the Z-score. So my standard deviation is 1. and my mean is 0. That's what you do on a z-score. So I'm going to have to figure out my z-score for LBJ and my z-score for Shaq. We'll do LBJ, since he was a Democrat, we'll do him in blue.
One of the best.
What?
He was one of the best.
He was one of the what?
Best.
I'm not going to say anything. We had better when we had Kennedy.
He was a good replacement.
Yeah, I wonder why he was replaced. Wouldn't have anything to do with we didn't want to go to war with Vietnam, and LBJ had several hands in the pockets of people that benefit from war. And we'll do, but you'd have to study that history stuff to do that. Don't study history. Give me a color. What did it? Let's see. Let's see.
Pink.
Shaq. No, I'm not going to do him in pink. He played for the Lakers, didn't he?
Do green and talk about the.
He played for the Celtics. Okay, so we'll do green. And Shaq. Yeah, LBJ had several investments in companies that made bombs, helicopters, and jets. And McNamara was chomping at the bit to go to Vietnam. But Kennedy wouldn't go. What? Oh yeah, the whole family's cursed. He was a good president. Historically wise, he was a good president. But what do they do to good presidents? They shoot them.
That's what they say. They say, oh, everybody that's good.
They shoot them. And you talk about control, it's worse than a dadgum ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend with control issues. What happens when they lose control? All hell breaks loose. Some of y'all don't have any idea what I'm talking about, and I hope you never do. All right, here we go with the blue. Settle down, Oconee. I can't even, y'all don't have anything to talk about with the controlling ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, do you?
No comment.
Yeah, I'm with that. No comment.
Okay, well, it sounds like to me y'all had experience with that. Yeah, they stalk you, they harass you, and they don't want you to move up. They don't want you to move on. They don't want you to do anything. Okay? Just like killing the president. They don't want, they lose that control. They can't stand it. LBJ was, that's why you got to study your history. It's hard for you to know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. All right, LBJ. Where's LBJ? 85. No, that's Shaquille. Where's LBJ?
He's
He's up top, ain't he? There we go. 75 minus X bar. Where is the president? 71.5 divided by 2.1. And somebody give me that z-score.
1.667.
1.67.
667.
Well, that's 1.67. So LBJ, that's 1.5. So 1. There we go. So 1.67 would be right in here. Everybody with me? I would say besides math, history is probably one of my favorite subjects. But as my daughter found out when she went to college, she found out that the history she was taught is not the history that she's learning. She come to me, she said, Daddy, you were right. I said, what do you mean? I didn't know what she was, well, I'm right on everything. Anyway, I said, what am I right about? She said, the history that they taught us in K through 12 is not the history that I'm learning right now. She's learning all kinds of stuff. She's into it though. She's like instead of a 6-page essay, she does like 12 pages. I mean, she's all into that history. I guess that's a good thing, as long as you don't dwell on it too much. All right, y'all do shacks. I would say with Kennedy, as well as, that was one of the main reasons they shot him, because they couldn't control it. They got the mafia to do Kennedy. Covered it up with the Cuban, the communist patsy. How do you think Jack Ruby got in there past all those policemen and FBI agents, and he just walked in there? Yeah. All right, what is it? So he's 85 inches. No, is that right? 85. 85 minus, where is it? 80, thank you, over 3.3. And somebody give me that z-score. What? 1.5. Uh-oh. Shaq is not further out. The further out you are, the more ER you are. So who is relatively taller? LBJ. Remember, the further out you are, the more ER you are. In this case, taller. Because what's out here? Outliers, unusual. This is outliers and unusual. Okay? The further you are toward that, the more not normal you are. That's a good question. Like I said, that was a good book. That's why it lasted so long. And then, of course, we had to get rid of it because it was a good book. Now, there's something else that you're going to have to learn about a z-score. And what is that, Hubert? Well, you're going to have to look up area under a curve. Now, luckily, we're not going to do it with calculus and antiderivatives. We're just going to do it with z-scores. But we could, if y'all want to. We could move over to calculus right quick and do that if y'all want to. Actually, it's pretty. All right. Let's go to, what is it? What did you say it was? 3.5? 3.5. I'm trying to find the e-book. There it is. The reason I'm pulling it up, in your book, look in your book, in the back of your book, or in the middle of your book, for the insert that's made out of cardboard. Okay? That's the tables. There it is. Where is that in the appendix? Okay, in the very back of your book, of course, I told y'all not to buy a book. Yeah, I said don't buy a book. I said do not buy a book. That's what I said. I didn't say get an old book, get a used book, print out your book. I said don't get a book. Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said get a used book.
I know, I'm just kidding. A lot of people tell my boss, he said not to get a book. Y'all just lie. Okay, appendix. I think it's the appendix, isn't it? Does it say A at the top? Appendix? Yeah, there we go. And you're looking for the z-table. Now let's go ahead and find it. Now you're also going to be doing this in chapter 8 and 9, so you better get used to it. Let me see, where's the z-table? That's the t-table, I think. Why do they turn them sideways? Okay, which table is it? Tell me which table it is, because all these are sideways. I don't know why can we...
These are Z scores there.
Look at the top for Z. take it out. I think it's this one. Yeah. It's the one that says standard normal distribution. Standard normal is another word for z-score. Okay? Now, the way that you use I'm trying to find it on the board here. Just give me a second. Okay? This one's different from the one you got. Critical values. Binomial. Discontinued binomial. Just give me a second, I'm looking. That's binomial. That's binomial. Feels like I'm going around. There we go, thank you. All right, now, notice one thing, and you need to write this on top of your table as well as, and I'll show you how to do this in your notebook also, your calculator. The table only gives you the area on the left-hand side of your z-score. The table only gives you the area on the left-hand side. So if you need to find the right-hand side, what should you do? Well, the right-hand side is the complement of the left-hand side. So 1 minus the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. When will you find the right-hand side? Greater than, more than, anything that gives you the notion that I want what's greater, okay? Greater means the right side. Left side is less than. Right side is greater than. So if I ask you, a z-score of 1.5, what's the area greater than 1.5? Then I want this area right here because I said greater than. Okay? Now, how do you read the scores? Well, 4 digits, 4 decimal points is equal to area. Area is the same thing as probability. It's the same thing as percentage. If the book asks you for any one of these 3 things, that's these 4-digit numbers in the body of the table. 4 digits. And in chapter 9, when we get to chapter 9 and 10, I'm still going to say 4 digits. So if I throw 4 digits on the board, you know it's an area, a probability, or a percentage. It's all the same. Then what's the 2 digits? 2 decimal points. Anybody want to know? Anybody know? Is your what? Your z-scores. Now your z-scores are based on the z-score right here. 0, 1, 2, -1, -2, and we'll carry it out to 3 if you want to. But usually after 2.5, the table will say, look at the bottom of the table, it'll say 2.5, that area is 0.99999. So below 2.5 is 0.00001, and above 2.5 is 0.00001. You see what I'm saying? Very small amount. So all of your z-scores are going to be around -3 to what? +3. Are you going to have a 5.8 on your z-score? No. Table. No. You might get a 5.8 with your calculations, but 5.8 is going to be above 3.5, and 3.5 is going to be 0.00001. Now, I'll also show you how to use your calculator with this also. So let's say that I want to find the area, and this is, I'm just going to leave it on this table right here. Let's say I want to find the area of negative, let's say I want to find the area of negative 1.7. So 1.7, I'll write it like this. Probability of 1.7. That's how it'll be written. Or it'll be written Z is equal to 1.7 negative. So 1.7, you draw a picture. 1.7 is where? Right in here? Right there. So they want this area right there. Well, by the empirical rule, let's write down the empirical rule. 34, 13.5, 2.5, and 2.5 is right there. 13.5 is right there. By the empirical rule, I know it's going to be at least 2.5 and maybe half, I don't know, half of, it'll be a little bit over, so it'd be what? Half of 13 is what? 6? So I'm going to say 5. 5 plus 2.5 is what? 7.5? So I'm going to say 0.0750. That's what I'm going to say, and I'm guessing. Now, you better get used to doing that because that's what you're going to be doing in Chapter 8 and 9. You're going to be finding it, and you're going to be saying, okay, 1.7. Yeah, it looks like it's between 2.5 and 13.5, but 13.5 is that whole thing, and this is half, so that would be 6, but it's a little bit this way, so I'm going to say 5% plus this 2.5, and that's going to be 7.5, so there is 0.0750. Now let's look it up in the book. So I take my handy dandy. So what z-score am I looking for? 1.7, negative. Well, there's negative. I got to go down a little bit. So you take your book and you go down to 1.70. 1.70 is what? 0.0446. So I was way off. I was saying 7.5%, and it's really 4.5%. But 0.0446, that's your answer. So your answer is, and I'll put it in green. The answer is, this area right here in green is 0.0446. So somebody tell me, if that's the left-hand side, tell me what the right-hand side is. We'll do it in magenta. What's this magenta side? What is that? Well, what's $1 minus 4 cents? 96 cents. So it's going to be 0.9554. So make sure you can find the area under the curve given a z-score or calculate a z-score. Now, how do you do it with your handy-dandy calculator? Well, I'm going to show you one more, and then we'll do that. Now, remember, next week, we're going to be going over these over and over and over. You're going to send me questions, and I know they're going to be 3.1 through 3.5. I know you're going to send them. Even though some of y'all think y'all know it all, you're going to send me some questions. All right? So, let's go ahead and do another one. Let's say that I want you to tell me the z-score associated with z-score for 0.3750. What did I just give you? Did I give you a z-score or did I give you an area? How'd you know?
Area.
Because it's 4 digits. I gave you an area. So you got to find the area of 0.3750. So now you go to the body. 3750. Look for 0.3750. Well, there's 0.1. So I got to go down. So we got to go down. So you're looking for 4 digits around 0.3750. You probably should just quit and give up. 0.3750. 0.375. There's 3707. 37. Where?
3783.
Okay, that's a little bit too much. Here's 3.5.
3775.
3745, look at there. All right, now you got two numbers right here. You got 3783 and you got 3745. So which one's closer? Well, this is what I tell students. Change this to $37.50. What's closer to $37.50? 3745 or 3783? I can always depend on a female. Try to short. I worked at Walmart long 3 or 4 years. You cannot shortchange a female. You can't, because they can do mathematics on a nanosecond when it comes to money. They can, but they say, "Oh, I can't do math." Bull crap. Try to shortchange a woman and see what happens. All right. So your answer is what? We said 3745, so that's going to be negative 0.3, and then which 2? So what's 30 cent plus 2 cent?
32 cents.
So the answer to that question is negative 0.32 z-score. Now, Miss Blackman is packing up, so that means it must be time to go. Oh, you got to leave early. Okay. Yeah, don't let DSS. DSS picks up my kids every once in a while, so don't let them pick them up. Yeah, it's usually when he's hungry and freezing outside. That's when they pick him up. Okay, I may have to get him. Okay, I've got to go pick up mine at 4. I haven't picked mine up at 4. Okay. See ya. All right, who's got a question on that? Now, how do you find it in the calculator? Well, let's pull up the handy-dandy calculator. Let's say we want to do z-score for 3750. Pull up your handy-dandy calculator and type in second vars inverse norm. Write that down. Second vars inverse norm. Inverse norm means I want to find the area under the normal curve, or the z-score. So click on that. And now this is the easy part. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of all this writing. All you got to type in is my area. What area did I give you? 0.3750? 3750, close parenthesis, equals. Look at there. 0.32. Now, why did I round it to 2? What did I just tell you? All z-scores are what? 2 decimal points. 0.32. Now, what if I want to find the other way? I can't remember what I gave y'all. What did I give y'all? Did I give y'all z-score? Yeah, I gave y'all z-score. So we got to type in second vars, and I think it's normal PDF. I think it is. My x value, no, I don't think it's that one. Let me back it up. It's normal CDF. Bars, normal, second bars. Y'all see how much I use calculator. There. What's my x value? Well, my x value, that's not right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is. What z-score did I give y'all? Negative what? Or what?
Negative 1.7.
Negative 1.7. So you type in negative 1.7. The X threw me off because usually it stands for Z. This is a newer calculator. And enter. And what did we get? Did we get 0.0940? Yes or no? Look in your notes. What did we get? Y'all didn't write it down?
It's like 0.9446.
But what?
Only like 9446 or something.
No, that was the right side. What was the left side? Might be normal CDF.
It was 4, because it was 4 cents.
Okay, so let me go back. Hold on. Oh shoot. I hate doing this on the board. Hold on. It's normal CDF. The TI, it usually don't ask for X. It usually asks for Z. It used to ask for Z. Now it asks for X. That threw me off. Stat. Second vars, normal PDF. That's the one. I'm sorry. Okay, there it is. It usually asks for Z value. So I said negative what? 1.7. That should give us 0.04. Okay, something's not right. Let me go to the TI-83 because I know how to do the TI-83. And I'll have to figure it out with the stat. Second vars, normal. I thought it was CDF. Normal CDF, negative 9999, comma, negative 1.7. There we go. I've got to figure it out with the TI-84. So we'll figure it out before the next class. But normal CDF is what you use. I don't know why it's giving us that because I'll have to look that up. But is that what we got for the answer? 0.0446? Okay, that's what the answer is. And you can do it with your calculator or you can do it with the table. I don't care. Okay. Usually I tell you I want you to do it by hand. Then I want you to do it on the calculator. In this case, I don't care which one you use. You can do it by hand, meaning use the table, or you can do it with your calculator. Now there's going to be some questions that you send me next week that we haven't covered yet. Okay? They're going to be like in between. What's between negative 0.5 and 1.2? We're going to cover those also. I'm not going to cover them today, but we're going to cover those next week. All right? Who's got questions so far?
And the area will always be given.
Yeah, either they're going to give you an area or they're going to give you a z-score. They got to give you one of them. Okay? So let me just go to what section is this? 3.4? Somebody tell me, is this 3.4?
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me go pull one up for you. Homework 3.4. I hope they put some decent questions on here. I'm looking for one that we're doing right now. It's usually going to show you. Okay, they didn't. They put a bunch of. Okay, they're not. We'll just have to look through them next week when we do them, when you send them to me. But usually they give us, they usually just put, they want you to convert. Yeah, they're wanting you to convert the z-score. So usually everyone, well, I'll tell you what, let me go here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me go to the study plan and pull up a problem. Give me a second. I'm trying to find chapter contents. Chapter contents 3.4. Study plan. There. Now let me find a question. This is not homework, it's just where we pull the homework from. I don't see one. They want you to convert all of them. I thought they would just give you an easy one, like a z-score of like 1.5 or something. So we're gonna have to do some more Monday or Tuesday. We're gonna have to do some more problems before y'all can do 3.4. So right now, do 3.1, 3.2. Let me look at 3.5 right quick and see if that's the.
I already did that one. That one was easy.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
Boxplot.
Boxplots.
Yeah. So evidently 3.4. Just let me look at that homework over the weekend, and I'll pick some problems out. And Tuesday we'll finish Z-scores. I've already covered it, but it looks like to me they're pulling up a bunch of problems that you have to convert, change it into Z-score. So we'll go over that Tuesday. Okay? All right, y'all are done today. I'll go ahead. Y'all are all there except for one